Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. So, house. Must construct house. I mean, once these bricks are done, it should be enough to finish these walls. I am not entirely sure about that actually, but you know what? Gonna roll with it. Well, actually, I can do the math. No, it won't be. I'm gonna need a little more, not much. I'm gonna need to throw in one more stack of clay balls into there. I'm not sure why I hit record. Sort of not doing much. I mean, like usual, but you know, a lot of waiting. I don't like waiting, but that's what's going on, so therefore let's wait. Trying to think of shit to talk about, but I don't know, my brain's sort of drawing a blank at that. Yeah, I don't know. Suppose I don't have too many interesting talking points. Sort of just gotta wait. And waiting's not a lot of fun. You know, I guess that's sort of the I wouldn't say magic, because it's definitely not very fun to watch. Consequence, rather, of me doing so. So now you guys get to watch as I do the single most boring thing I could really be doing. Isn't that fun? So, yeah, this isn't gonna be a very fun episode to watch. I'm warning you now before you have to sit through another like 20 or so minutes of it, probably, because that's usually how long these go on for. It's not gonna be fun. I'm not gonna be doing anything at all, really. Actually, you know what? What I can do is, there's been a lot of like builds I've seen where people are utilizing different, like, what do you call it, blocks to make lamps for the road, and I found a design that I think I quite enjoy, so I'm gonna you know, use it, or at least interpret it, because I am doing this from memory. Huh? Could have sworn he could have done something with slabs. No, I guess I'll just be regular stone bricks then. Anyhow. Yeah, what I was seeing is that, like, it was something like that, I believe. And then what they did is they took fences, and then put do I have any of it? Any of this stuff? I don't think I do. Yeah, no. Okay. Should probably put these back, and 2 grab blocks to build with. Just, create some walls there. Protect that portal. I don't want to get out and then immediately be bombarded with with whatever is on the other end. So that's when my brain runs like way faster than my mouth. Sorry, my mouth runs a little faster than my brain. See? I told you it runs way faster. There was an example right there. God damn it. Yeah. Is there any easier vein of the goddamn glowstone shit to get? No, not really. Okay. Well, must be pillaring up then. Let's get some of this netherrack. Okay. Yeah. I don't need that much. Okay. Fuck you. Nope. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Ha! Only one person gets to... I was gonna say only one person gets to get fucked, but you know what? I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, let's also... that. Yep, man, just destroy every new iteration of this goddamn portal. For some reason the game really likes putting a new portal here. Despite the one I built being, you know, not there. I hate the fucking portal whatever feature. Why is my microphone picking up all the fucking ventilation on my computer? Man, it's running quieter than usual. Why the... whatever. You guys are just gonna have to deal with the sound of my computer ventilating itself. Because honestly, I hate fucking, what is it? Would that be voice suppression? Yeah, no, voice suppression, because a noise gate is what I'm using right now. You guys are just gonna have to deal with the bad recording environment that my noise gate can't fix, because I am not ever, okay, never, oops, fucking, what's the word for it? Going back to using noise suppression, because noise suppression sucks. It makes everything that isn't being suppressed just sound like complete dog shit. And I don't like that. I don't like it when I speak into my microphone and what I'm saying is completely unintelligible. Okay, I've had it that way for years, and honestly, I don't know how you guys manage to pick up half what I'm saying. All, like, 4 of you that still watch my content, that is. Because, yeah. Go figure. When I take a couple of months off because I just don't feel like uploading, big shocker. Yeah, okay. Big shocker. People just move on, you know? My dad watches my stuff occasionally, and he's like, "Hey, you know, nobody watching your stuff anymore." I'm like, I don't really care. You know, I think it'd be really egotistical of me to care that people aren't watching. You know. Am I happy that people are watching? Yes, of course. But I'm not gonna, like, you know, be all, yeah, you do all my stuff when nobody's watching. It's just, makes me feel like an asshole. And I don't want to be an asshole. Nobody wants to be an asshole. I mean, sure. I imagine most people who are assholes probably don't mean it, or just, you know, or are assholes, and yeah, they just don't mean it. I'd imagine that most people, when they're being rude, at least in my experience, don't mean it, but it comes off that way. You know, just sort of how they are, and they don't realize it. Because fuck, I'll bluntly admit it, I was an asshole once. You know? And being an asshole sucks because you don't know you're being one. The asshole in question, when the asshole in question is you, the only person who can really declare that is you, which is, you know, kind of a hard thing to do because you don't realize you're being one, ever. Right? Like, nobody's ever going to say to you, well, almost nobody is going to say to your face, man, you're an asshole, right? Like, because that's just rude. Or that just hurts. Well, I guess it's not necessarily rude if they're being honest, but it hurts. It hurts people's feelings, right? Like just saying that to someone, they probably wouldn't necessarily accept it or want to believe it, right? So I think that in order for one to realize or in order for one to stop their own wrongdoing, they must first acknowledge it to themselves. Which is why I promote being honest, because, you know, you be dishonest with yourself, you can't really be too honest with other people either. It's other way. Yeah. When you're being dishonest with yourself, it's hard to be honest with the people around you. And I feel that creates a sort of dynamic of sorts, right? I'm not saying there's like a definitive like way that people should be acting, or necessarily a definitive way to tell if you're an asshole or not. That sort of, I feel like that realization more so hits you in the face like a fucking semi truck on the freeway than it just sort of naturally comes to you, you know. I suppose I have a lot of things to say that I just don't want to say. Not necessarily out of fear that I'll be judged for it or whatever the fuck, but I feel like I wouldn't be necessarily mature about it. I don't think I quite understand the weight of such a statement. I'm not saying that it's something racist or anything like that. It's more a self-observation that I want to make that I'm not sure I'm ready to make or necessarily have the words to form it. So in this case, I guess I suppose I don't have much else to say, at least for now. I know I often go on tangents, you know, just generally talk maybe a little too much about mental health, but you know what, whatever. That should be enough trees. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. That's if, like, sure, when it comes to topics like, I don't know, getting a pet or me reminiscing on things. Well, maybe not reminiscing on things, but like, I don't know. Things that come more immediately, I don't really put much thought into saying them. I sort of just wing it and whatever, but I feel like when discussing more serious topics, there is a level of care that should be taken in doing so. Because I feel like as much as what do you call it? Like a stream of consciousness where you're just sort of saying what you say in the most pure, honest form you can, which is just spewing whatever and hoping it sticks, but that's not anymore. Yeah, I feel like when discussing more serious topics, you can't necessarily be so lighthearted. At least, maybe not lighthearted, but immediate in your discussion. Again, there's sort of just a feeling of I guess coherence that I feel makes a big difference. Like, I don't know, if I go on a tangent about, like, I don't know, the Holocaust, sure, I could, you know, talk about that in a stream of thought, but I feel like it's such a big event and such a sensitive topic that talking about it in a stream of consciousness wouldn't necessarily do the weight of such a topic justice. You know, that's my thought process behind talking about shit. I mean, I know that can really go anywhere and don't necessarily have to agree or disagree about whatever, but I don't know. A part of what I do with the Let's Plays, funny enough, is I speak like this in a stream of consciousness in hopes that my ability to speak on stuff and just generally create commentary on things is improving, right? I feel like I don't want to be a boring person, or at least a boring person in conversation, because, you know, nobody really wants to have a conversation with a boring person. that is to say, people have said to my face that I am a boring person, so, you know. I feel like maybe I should get new friends, but I don't know. Yeah, there's I always say, yeah, I don't know, at the end of everything, beginning or end of everything. In doing these Let's Plays, again, I hope that my ability to speak, my ability to converse, my ability to just generally talk in an interesting and well organized way is improving. I can't necessarily say if or if not that's true. Because the only way I'd really be able to tell is by watching back a video where talking about like the most random BS ever, right? You know, because this is not the most random bullshit ever. It's a pretty specific topic, but like when I'm just commentating over a game or whatever, I guess a good telltale sign that I am perhaps succeeding in this is record like a whole hour or so of me just playing games or whatever, and I'm talking the entire time about the game or something else, right? Something else in a similarly whimsical topic, and it's not boring. I can sit through the entire thing, no problem. Although I guess that's maybe not the best way to judge it, because, you know, technically I live that. If anybody watches this, like, do I, particularly to the returning viewer, do I make interesting commentaries in my content? Because I don't know. I don't want to be boring. Like, the last thing I want to do is leave this world and nobody will remember a thing about me except my mere existence, and in a matter of days after I've gone, you know. And you know, maybe it's a little early on in my life to say so, but I don't know. In case of something sudden happening, and I've always had the fear that, well, A, that I'll just die in general. I hate thinking about that, but B, just that I'll die a sudden death, that I won't be able to say goodbye or whatever, right? I want to be able to have something for people to remember me by, even if I don't leave any object or any task or whatever, right? Like, even if at the end of the day I die suddenly and now all my family is like fighting over my belongings, I want them to, despite all the chaos, have something to remember me by, right? I guess it's probably a little scary to you guys to hear me, of all people, me at my age, already talking about what might happen when I die. That's you know, I think that's a little extreme and grim. If the worry is, no, don't do anything to yourself, don't worry. Like, not gonna lie, I've been there. but also I'm past it, you know. So yeah. I guess you guys might, I guess, be happy. Anybody who's been watching this content for a long time, I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I can say safely, I'm the best I've been in years. Really. Maybe that's a little optimistic of me to say, because I do have a lot going on right now, and just in general, things are very up in the air right now, like even more up in the air than they were when I was not doing so well. I guess what I'm saying is anything can happen right now. I'm sort of in a, am I happy? Am I not happy? Am I good? Am I not good? You know, that's sort of limbo state where I'm in between two extremes. But yeah. I suppose I can probably leave this episode here. I'm not sure if I'm ready to leave it yet, but you know what? We're never really ready for anything, so I suppose this is nothing off-brand. I think I made too much iron blocks. Yeah, I made too many. Oops. Yeah. I suppose, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Not to be the guy that tries to get engagement in the comments, because, you know, algorithm and whatnot. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really give a shit about the algorithm. My videos do well, my videos do well, my videos don't do well, my videos don't do well. This is more or less me posting because I like interacting with the community, and I like just posting in general because it establishes some sort of routine in my life. Looks pretty good. Yeah, thank you guys. Well, yeah, I forgot to do the poll, comment engagement. You know, I was gonna ask you guys a question, but now that I think about it, I don't know what I'm gonna ask, so just leave it at that. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, thanks for coming along. If you're not coming back, then thanks for checking me out. if you're returning, thanks for coming back and sticking with me, I guess. And, yeah. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.